Hi Butterfly, it's Eva Lane from anxiousrelief.com, and today I want to answer a question that I get asked all the time, and I can understand why it gets asked all the time, but I do have one consistent answer that I always give, and I'll give that to you in the video today. The question is, when do anxiety symptoms stop? So I'm often asked this question when I've had a client who's come to see me and they may have booked in several sessions, a week apart say, and it's usually around week 4, week 5 that they're starting to feel better within themselves and some of the anxiety symptoms are falling away, but then these doubts start to creep in about the longevity of the healing, what to do when anxiety symptoms come back, and often people report this feeling of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So they say, I was feeling so great and I was doing so well, and then something happened and I had a panic attack, or I just woke up this morning feeling absolutely terrible and I don't understand why when I was feeling so great. So it's that doubt and that impatience that people have for, they start to get a glimpse of what it's like to feel well again and to have a life without anxiety. And so it can feel really disconcerting when you're doing great, you're doing really well, and then suddenly your old enemy anxiety pops up again, usually in the most inconvenient of times and places. So completely natural, completely normal, and anxiety recovery hardly ever happens in a step-by-step linear sequence. And in fact, I'd go so far as to say that the 2 steps forward, 1 step back thing is an important part of the recovery, and it's a really good opportunity when the symptoms resurface again to put into play what you've learnt to manage those symptoms. So what have you learnt to manage those symptoms? It's a simple 3 steps that I always teach at the very, very beginning to anyone who wants to learn to heal anxiety from their lives. And the very first step is acceptance. Just accepting yourself as you are for now, accepting things as they are, accepting life as it is. That's not to say it will never change, but you need to stop this constant resistance and this constant fighting. People always come to me when pretty much every single client that I take on always talks to me about fighting the anxiety. I want to fight it. I want to beat it. I want to get the better of it. I want to win. And it's that sort of language that indicates to me that they haven't truly come into acceptance yet. What acceptance involves is just the understanding that while you have decided that you will heal, you have a fair way to go as you are right now. And just having faith that in the long term that the anxiety will be healed, and it will heal itself in an almost miraculous way by the time it's done, but it can take some time to get there. So accepting yourself as you are for now, dropping all that resistance, purposefully relaxing every muscle in your body, in your neck, in your shoulders, in your arms, in your face, in your tummy, all of that, just relaxing everything and accepting yourself as you are for now. That brings me to step 2, which is very closely related to step 1, and that is surrender. And when I say surrender, I mean surrendering the need to have an outcome, which sounds like such a paradox, but it's really important. By surrendering, you allow yourself to live in the present. You allow yourself to accept life as it comes to you. You relinquish control and you give up that need to control everything that's going on around you. So if acceptance is letting go of everything in your body and letting go of your muscles and releasing that resistance, surrender is the mentally letting go of the need to control the outcome. So, and it can be hard. I know how hard it is. I know how when you're expected to hold everything together, I know how hard it is to surrender that. But acceptance and surrender are very closely related. And I generally find once you've done acceptance, you're doing surrender as well as the automatic next step. So just surrendering to the process and surrendering to the fact that yes, you have anxiety. Yes, you are doing something about it. Yes, you will heal. Yes, you've accepted yourself as you are for now. Yes, you're accepting your life as it is for now. And handing all of that need for control over to the universe, who will gladly accept it, because the universe is the only one that's ever in control anyway. That's the biggest paradox of all. Step 3 is pretty simple, but it's also pretty difficult for someone who's used to having complete and utter control, or trying to maintain complete and utter control, to accept. And that is time. Time is the great unsung healer. Time is what allows the energy healing to take. Time is what gives you the space to be able to accept yourself as you are and surrender the need for control, and to do that again and again and again until everything comes together in a way that moves you forward into long and lasting healing. I also want to say that anxiety symptoms, they at first start lessening and slowing down very, very slowly. So it will take a lot of acceptance and a lot of surrender and a lot of time to get to that first little glimpse of a happy and peaceful life. And then it might take a little bit shorter period of time to get the next glimpse, and a shorter period of time to get the next glimpse. And then you might get a little bit of a backsliding period where you feel like you've gone backwards a little bit in your anxiety recovery. And it's at that point that you really need to say, no, I'm surrendering and accepting. And I know that if I continue with this mindset and move forward with it, that I will get the outcome of no more anxiety in my life. And continuing to accept and surrender during that period. And then you'll get your next glimpse of peaceful recovery and peaceful healing. And then gradually over time, the anxiety periods become shorter and shorter and less, and then your periods of peaceful happiness become longer, and the peaceful happiness becomes the accepted norm, more so than the anxious periods. So sorry about that. Time is the healer that's needed. Time is the one that will bring you to where you need to be. Come over to anxiousrelief.com. I have a great grounding meditation for you that will help you get through that period of acceptance and surrender that's really needed to bring you into peaceful happiness and a life that's free of anxiety. And that will help you to bring your energy together as you accept and surrender and allow time to carry you forward into a life that's peaceful and free from anxiety. So come over to anxiousrelief.com, download that grounding exercise, and it will help you on your path to a life that's free from anxiety and stress. Bye for now. Love and light.